So we were talking about basting boxes, and we know that our Janome 15,000 machine does a really nice basting, very long stitches around a design that we have open in our embroidery screen, ready to sew screen. I'm in the Hatch program, and I'm going to show you how to create a basting box in this program. So here I've got a design that I digitized open, and it is centered in my hoop. Actually, I'm not sure that it is centered in my hoop. Let me go ahead and do that. Prep that a little bit before. Let's center it to the work area. Okay, now it's centered in my hoop. So theoretically, now that it is, it would be ready to go into my embroidery machine and be embroidered out. But let's say that for some reason I want a customized basting box around the outside of my design. Now, the nice thing about doing that in a digitizing program like Hatch is that I could make this basting box any shape and size that I want it to be. The typical way to make one, because we usually see basting boxes as rectangles or squares that fit around the outside edges of our design. So I would come into my digitized toolbar and I could select the rectangle square shape and I could choose to do it as an outline stitch. All right, so I've selected that. I would want it to, over here in my object properties, I would want it to be a single run line. And probably for my stitch length, I would take this up to about either a 6 or a 7 millimeter. I'm going to go for 7 millimeters just for fun here. And I'm going to unclick variable run length because I just want it to be nice long stitches. And then I would be ready to draw my box. So this is what I do. I just drag my mouse button, left mouse button held down, and I draw my shape. It is a square. And that's how easy it is to create a nice long box. What I could then do with my box is it's down as the very last item in my sequence bar. I could move it up to the top. And again, probably what I would want to do with it is center it in the hoop. So under Create Layouts, I would just, select the item. Excuse me, I just made another box there. Okay, select the item and auto center it to the work area. Hit my enter button. It has been centered around the outside edge of my design. All right. If I wanted that box to be exactly at the outer edge of the design here, I could just go ahead and I could select it, hold down my shift key because holding down the shift key keeps this centered in the hoop. And with my left mouse button, I could just shrink it down a little bit smaller if I wanted it a little smaller. And there I have it, the exact same size. Or I could make it just by grabbing one of the little bars around the edge. I could make it longer and skinnier, or you get the picture. You're customizing this box that is a basting box around your design. And once you have it like you want it, you do want it to be the first thing that stitches out. And you would then save this design with its customized basting box around it. What if I wanted my basting box to be a circle shape around this circular wreath of hearts? Basically the same thing. Back in the digitizing toolbar, select the circle or oval, and I would just start from the center out. So this is kind of a two-step process. When you first start drawing your line, you draw it in one direction, then you let go of your mouse button, you click on it actually, and then you go in the other direction. So I'm just basically dragging my mouse around here. And you click again and hit the enter button, and you now have a circular shape. So what I've got now, I'm going to turn this one into purple so it shows up a little bit better. Same sort of a scenario here. This box could be adjusted. Right now it's a single run line with a 7 millimeter stitch length. Same settings that I had a little while ago with my square box. And again, if I wanted to make sure that this was centered around my design, under Create Layout Toolbar, Auto Center to the work area, and click the Enter button, and it is now centered. So that's two different ways of making doesn't look like it's centered, does it? Anyway, maybe it needs a little, oh, I know why. Maybe it got centered around this box here. Select that one and delete it. Let's move this to the top and then center it. For some reason, it's not wanting to center around that design, and I don't know why, but I don't want to spend a lot of time fussing with it. Basically, what I could do is select it and move it down wherever I wanted it so that it looks centered for my purposes, and then save my design. Again, I've got a customized basting box that's around the outside edge of my heart wreath. All right, so that is 2 different ways that you can make a customized basting box in a digitizing program like Hatch or MBX. Lots of fun and very, very useful. You know, I was even thinking about how there have been other times when I've created lines of stitches that will also help me to keep things aligned when I'm embroidering things, especially complicated designs. And that could, again, be very simply done by using a digitized tool. Maybe you just want to do a straight line, and somewhere along there that would help you to line things up. Let's just say that I'm going to make a whole row of these little wreaths. I might want a single line right down the middle, for example, to help me to line things up. So I could just hold down my control key as I'm drawing this line and click it and enter it. And now I've got a straight line that I could also use as a somewhat of a marker in some way. You know, use your imagination. There's lots of tools in our digitizing program that can help us with our embroidery projects. All right, that's about it for now. Thanks for watching.